Being a Broadway performer is pretty cool.
And a lot of hard work.
Getting there is even harder.
We're going to tell you all about it.
I'm Adrienne Walker.
And I'm Austin Cook.
Welcome to 32 Bar Cut. Welcome to Broadway Banter on 32 Bar Cut. I am Adrienne Walker.
I'm Austin Cook.
And today we are going to be asking Austin 25 questions that we want to know. And really, I mean, these 25 questions. 25 questions for a Broadway music director. Oh. So for our newbies, anybody here that's coming to our channel for the first time, please introduce yourself. Let them know who you are.
I'm Austin.
And what do you do for a living?
I'm a music director, pianist, writer, composer, whatever. I do stuff, but I work on Broadway.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
nobody
why
wants to talk about themselves. What do you mean?
No, I'm just saying, like, credential-wise, we need to know, why should we trust you to answer these 25 questions? Why should we receive this information from you? Like, give us.
I am not going to talk about myself.
Okay, I'll talk about them. So the reason that we're going to listen to the answers to these 25 questions is because Austin knows what he's doing and he knows what he's talking about, and he is going to help you on today. All right. So thanks for tuning in. If you haven't already, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We're coming to you. Austin and I are coming to you 2 times a week, but we also have a show, 32 Bar Cut the Show, where we bring on our friends and we chat with them every week as well.
Yeah.
So thanks for joining us. Yeah. Okay, let's get to it. Question number 1.
Question 1.
How do I, and anytime I say I in this, I am an aspiring or working actor seeking information. I am you. Mm-hmm. All right. How do I make a good first impression in the audition room?
Be prepared.
Be prepared. That's the best way to impress someone. Be prepared.
Be prepared. Preparation.
Okay.
If you're prepared, you have good preparation, it's going to show.
Yeah.
You got to know the song. Be prepared. Be confident. Know how to enter an audition room. Know who's in the room.
Yeah.
Know why you're in the room. Know the show. Just preparation is everything.
You can't over prepare.
No.
Okay.
No.
I love that.
That's a different discussion. I mean, over preparation would be like obsessing or like stressing yourself out or putting too much time per audition. You can't do that, obviously. Yeah. But, being prepared is a good blanket statement. That's the best way to impress. We can tell. You can tell. Even if you're not right for that particular role, if you're prepared, at least
they like that.
Right, because they might be thinking of you for something else.
Yeah. All right, so you heard it here, folks. Be prepared.
Please.
Also, I hope that you're enjoying my musical-themed shirt. I wore this in anticipation of interviewing you today and asking you questions. Okay, number 2. If I mess up in the audition room, should I start over or keep going? What should I do?
That depends. This happens all the time. All the time. All the time. Probably 25% of the time, it seems
Give us the tea. What do we do?
It depends. It depends whose fault it is and what's going on. It really depends. Basically, if I'm the accompanist and you come in and you give me some song and I completely missed that it's in 3/4 time and I'm playing some crazy samba in 4/4. Like, it's clearly like the accompanist has a miscommunication, or they're playing the wrong song, or they're so bad they're playing in minor and the song's in major. If it's so egregious, stop. You can just stop and be like, may I just have a second? I think that we're not on the same page or something. And then just nicely and kindly walk over to the compass and be like, address the issue. Because if you were to sing over the top of something that crazy, or if it's just not at all right,
it's not going to look great.
Yeah, and it's just not good for anybody. Like, nobody wants to waste their time. The accompanist doesn't, the casting doesn't. Yeah. So it's okay to stop for that reason.
Okay.
If we're talking about a missed lyric or you forgot the lyrics or something like that, no, you cannot stop. If it's your fault, if it's your fault, you forgot the lyrics, you forgot the words, you forgot the melody, you forgot anything, you can't stop. I mean, you just can't. It's best to just let the accompaniment keep going, collect yourself in your mind and jump in when you do know it or something and just act your way through it. Make something up. like whatever. But at that point, it's on you. You got to keep going, because if you stop at that point and we know it's your fault, which we will, it looks even worse, because it's like you not only did you not prepare, or something happened where you made a mistake, you also made the sin of stopping, and which you can't do in theater, right? In a show, you can't stop. So audition needs to be an extension of a live performance. You can't stop unless it's something that it's clearly the accompanist's fault, or there's something like off. I hope that answers the question.
Yeah. If I mess up, don't stop.
Just own it.
Don't stop.
You messed up.
That's
the
what
audition.
I gathered from that. Keep going, because it shows how you can recover.
Exactly.
Actually, my next question you answered. My next question was, what do I do if my accompanist is playing my song incorrectly? And you answered that. So I have a follow-up question to the other one, and just instead to replace it is, I like to bring in a cheat sheet with me to my auditions, like a lyric cheat sheet. So I'll learn the melody, I'll learn the beats, the rhythms, the rests, and everything.
Yeah.
But then I always bring a lyric cheat sheet, because that seems to be my downfall with learning a lot of music at once, is the lyrics. What is your take on cheat sheets, bringing in the sheet music, full scores, whatever? How does that look from on the other side of the table?
It depends on the audition.
Okay.
For an audition for like out of your book, no, you can't do that, because it's your book. You're supposed to know it. You're supposed to, it's yours. Do not bring in a cheat sheet. Don't look at music, whatever. If it's a callback situation, of course, bring a cheat sheet.
And by callback, that means that you're getting their material, and
their
that's
material.
Why okay.
If it's their material, new show, you're learning it, whatever, have a cheat sheet. They do not care. What they care about is your head buried in it? Like, is it a crutch, blah, blah, blah. But if it's truly a cheat sheet, no matter if it's music or if it's just the lyrics, you're not using it unless you really need it, but you're acting. You have to stay in the scene, in other words. You have to be there. You have to be present.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's absolutely acceptable. And too many people do the opposite. Too many people try to be memorized. They're not memorized. And then the acting sucks. Like, they're not in it. They're forgetting lyrics. They're
just like getting
then it's just a
it.
bad audition. You should have just had the crutch and stayed in the scene at least.
That is really good advice. Okay. Are you ready for the next one?
Yeah.
What are the top 3 things music directors look for in the casting process? I know you look for a lot of things, but if you could only pick the top 3.
What are the top 3 things
a music director looks for?
Can you sing?
Can you sing?
I mean, it sounds basic, but the singing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, singing is all, like, there's all these subcategories under can you sing?
Yeah.
So maybe they're all under, like, can you sing? What does a music director look for? I guess, experience matters depending on the role. Like, if it's a tiny role, then we probably won't care about the resume too much. But if it's like, we're looking for, the lead.
Someone to carry the show.
Yeah, you're looking for Evan Hansen, and Evan Hansen, that's tricky too, because you need someone that's like young and like new, but also has enough experience to do like 8 shows a week, singing their face off. And
the emotional gravitas that role asks.
It's all about this. So can you sing?
Yeah.
Like the voice, and not only can you sing is a stupid way to say it, but is your voice right for the show?
Okay.
Is a better way to say it. Is this voice type doing the things that I would expect in the show?
That's really specific, because you would assume that if they're auditioning, they can sing. So you're saying, anybody in this room coming in, I'm assuming they can sing. Now I want to know if their voice is right for the role.
Yeah, but there's so many levels to it. Like, can you sing? It's a scale. It's a sliding scale of the degree of facility in singing.
Oh, sure.
So, it's relative to the part. I mean, that's why this stuff is so complicated. But, something else we're looking at is your phrasing, your musicality.
Musicality.
Like what you're bringing, the X factor. Do you really understand like acting and song? Am I getting the story through your song and all of that? So it's kind of a mixed bag of all of that. It's hard to say 3 things, but yeah.
But that's what you're looking for, the utmost, and then all the other things are just icing on the cake.
Yeah, there's lots of things. Are you the right type? You know, we're still
Yeah.
looking at type, just like the director and
Oh
everybody
no,
else.
I have
And,
type questions
yeah.
for you.
Yeah.
Because I'm curious about how much it matters and stuff.
Mhm.
Okay, stay tuned, folks, because I've got 25 questions and you're going to want to hear them all.
Yeah.
All right. How do I make a well-known popular song my own?
Oh, that's easy. You got to find how you relate to the lyrics and the story.
Okay.
You know, all songs, when you sing, you should look at the lyrics, figure out what you're saying, what it means, and then if you want to redo the song or make it your own, you find out what those lyrics mean to you, some interpretation that maybe it was literal when the song was performed the first time, but in your version, maybe it's not literal, maybe it's a metaphor for something, and you got to find out what that means. But the most important thing when you're preparing these songs is the lyrics, what the story is, what your beats are, like what's happening, how to activate it to make it an actionable thing that you want or you're trying to get or you're trying to desire, that you desire. And then how do you get it? And you do the whole song trying to activate something, to actively push towards or accomplish something in this song. And it doesn't matter if it's the original way they did it or not. It could be the complete opposite, but at least that's clear to you. That's what you need to be looking for, is the lyrics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was writing down notes as you were saying that, just so we can do like a recap. But it sounds like to make a well-known song my own, I need to connect with the lyrics, activate my intentions, and bring it closer to home, make it personal to me.
Yeah, and then that will inform the music. So I didn't even focus on the music because that's secondary. That's how I approach arranging. I mean, I do arrangements, new arrangements of old stuff all the time, and that's how I approach it. I'm like, what am I trying to say?
Yeah.
And then once you know what you're trying to say, it's easy to say, oh, that informs the music this way. It should be quiet. It should be just chords, or it should be a busy, like a busy about a 16th accompaniment, or it should be this kind of feel or this groove, because now you know what you're talking about. If you do it the other way, it's just like, it's just
then
fluff.
you have to add meaning to something that didn't have meaning.
Yeah, you need to
in the
have
first
an
place.
intent before you can like get something to accomplish what you're trying to do.
I like that. So for our listeners and viewers out there who are interested in singing a popular tune, but you're worried everybody's going to be singing it, here's some tips on how you can make it your own.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, follow-up question to the same topic. Should I even sing popular tunes for my auditions, or should I sing lesser-known tunes?
No, you should sing. It depends. It's so relative, but whatever you do, it should be unique to you and great. You know, don't just sing like on my own, the same on my own that everybody's heard on my own. Everybody, you know, we played it a billion times.
But what if it's my jam and they just haven't heard how I sing it?
Well, that
would be
unique to you. So what you just said is it's unique to you, that you offer something that we haven't heard before, and that is worthy.
Yeah.
So, but you have to do that. You can't just sing it mediocre or whatever, you know. So yeah, should you do a song everybody's familiar with or an old song? That depends. If you do a song everybody's familiar with, that's good. The accompanist knows it. You know, he should be able to play it. He or she should be able to play it. You know.
But there's different levels of familiarity, right? So like if you sing Amazing Grace, that's like, ooh, you know, this is, everyone really, really knows this song, as opposed to singing Rain on My Parade. I don't know. Is that just as popular?
Oh yeah, just as popular. Rain on My Parade's like one of the, you know, I've played that a billion times. So.
Oh, so you get it a lot in auditions?
Yeah, depending on the role. Sure.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I'm not going to get into much going into these modern musicals, but if I'm doing a Golden Age musical and it's a leading woman who's strong and sassy.
Yeah. Then, and you would welcome her singing that. Okay. Because
it fits the role.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like you answered the question. Yeah. So you can do it, but if you're going to do it, make it your own. So what's the disadvantage to singing a lesser known tune? Is there a disadvantage?
There is a disadvantage, and there's advantages and disadvantages. The disadvantage is maybe the accompanist doesn't know it, maybe they're not familiar with it, so maybe they don't know. Depending on how the setup of the lyrics are, say you're doing, for instance, a 16-bar cut of a lesser known song that nobody knows, they may not get enough story in that 16-bar lyric to even know what you're talking about or what you're acting or what's happening. It might just look generic. Like it might just be like, she's singing a song I don't know, it was just okay.
Yeah.
Whereas if it's a song they know, they already know the story, a lot of that does matter because they can kind of see more of what you're doing in the acting and all of that.
So you have to do more if you're going to do a lesser known tune.
Yeah, if you're doing a lesser known tune and you're doing the whole song, and it's a killer song, the story is great, all that, then great, do it. Because now they're seeing something fresh and they're like, wow, that was really cool. I never heard this story before. Yeah. But a lot of times people bring in lesser known songs by their friends who are composers that are writing this brand new musical that's so great. Usually it's not that great. And it's kind of mediocre, and the acting's kind of mediocre. You know, the story's not that engaging, and then everybody behind the desk is just kind of like ends up judging the content, like the song wasn't that great, and your performance gets knocked down because it just like, why did you do that? Other than it's your friend's show, but nobody cares. They really want to see an engaging story, an amazing song, an amazing vocal. So stick to material that's already been proven to be amazing and great than your friends whatever, because if the material's not great, your audition is not going to be great.
That is really good advice, because I also think that it speaks to having some awareness. So you have to have some awareness of, is this good material? And you have to be a good judge of that if you're going to sing it.
Because the audition's not about you, right? Aren't you trying to get a job? Yeah. So you need to perform the audition to please those people.
Yeah, suit it.
So it doesn't matter that you really love this song. They don't care. They don't know that you love the song. Who cares?
It's like
it needs to be a good song for them, not for you. So
that's very helpful.
Yeah.
Okay, next question. I have the perfect song and the sheet music.
Yeah.
But it's not in my key.
Yeah.
What do I do?
Transpose it.
Transpose it. What if I don't know what transpose means?
So to transpose means to change the key. You should always change the keys of songs to fit your voice. It should be your voice sounds banging on this high belt C. If the song is actually a high belt D and it's in your break and you can't do it, don't try to just, I'll muscle it out on the day of. No. Put it in the key that sounds great for your voice. That means a little extra work. If you don't know what finale and Sibelius is, then get somebody that knows what finale and Sibelius is. That's the programs that you do for music software editing, or the music software for engraving music. Get an accompanist friend. All of you have an accompanist friend, somebody that knows it, knows at least a music director you've worked with at some time in your past. Ask them, hey, would they be willing to transpose this? And you will give them X amount of dollars, $30, $40, $100. You know,
it really depends on the person, because
depends on the person.
You can't dictate someone's price for their work.
Yeah, just ask them. But get it transposed. It's not that hard of work for people that are really fast at it and good at it, or people that do it and they'll whip it out like that. So get it in your key. It's worth it.
It's worth it, especially if it's the perfect song.
Yeah.
Okay, next question. How do I choose the right audition song for my auditions? And I know that's really, that's a huge question because it's very specific to each audition. But I think Maria asked this question. Maria Jose asked this question. So I wanted to put that on our list. But I'll specify it. So I'm going in for a general call for a season. And in this season, they're doing one Golden Age. They're doing Christmas Carol, and they're doing a pop rock musical. And I would like to be considered for Christmas Carol and maybe the Golden Age. So how do I go about choosing my audition song?
Yeah, that's a great question, because this does happen a lot. So if you really want to be considered for Christmas Carol, and let's qualify that to say not just you really want to be considered, that you're right for it, right? You got to know your type enough to say there's no way I'm going to be in a Golden Age musical when my voice is like like a rock, like, a rock voice.
Yeah, if you're Miss Cratchit and not I don't know, Sheila.
Yeah, sure.
Then
But so that being said, if you want to do Christmas Carol, then Alan Menken, who did Christmas Carol. So you're going to find Alan Menken songs, and you're going to sing an Alan Menken song that's a killer song. That is the song that most resembles the song in Christmas Carol that you think you could do. So you start with the composer. You get a similar composer, or the composer in Alan Menken's case, and you do a song of his. They will instantly know you're doing an Alan Menken song, and you're wanting to be considered for Christmas Carol. It's obvious. Just like if there's Hair is in their season and you come in with the 70s, like hippie ballad folk guitar song, they're going to know that you want to be in that.
Yeah.
So you got to pick the relevant song for what you're going in 4, don't choose anything from that show. Choose something similar. Either the similar composer, similar genre, similar time period, similar vocal style, something, you know? Yeah.
Next question. That was great. That was really helpful. I hope that helped you out, Maria, and anyone else who's listening and watching. Next question. How important is song choice? Is it more important than voice or talent?
No.
So if you come in there with like, I personally think Amazing Grace isn't a great audition choice to sing. So if you come in singing Amazing Grace, but your voice is unique and stellar, they'll still consider you, even though it kind of looks a little green.
Exactly. Like, say, here's a good example for gospel friends.
Mm-hmm.
Say we're doing Sister Act.
Yeah.
Somebody comes in, has no idea what they're doing. They come in, they like, hello, where do we go? They go to the piano and they're like, hello, they're doing everything wrong. They have a song, it's just like a chart, it's Amazing Grace or something. And let's say it's Kim Burrell, like gospel powerhouse singer.
Mm-hmm.
She sings, it's just like unreal. Like what's coming out of her voice, it's just Amazing Grace. The music's, everything's wrong. It doesn't matter. She's getting a call back because it's just unreal. Like she's incredible. So of course, so I have to answer the question honestly. No, I mean the song choice
doesn't matter.
But does it matter for all of you? Yeah, well, not a weaker singer. I don't want to put in the terms. It's just like all of you professionals. Like this is what you do. Yeah, it really matters.
I see. So if you're green, if you're green and you have that raw talent, you get a pass. But if you're not educated, but if you have the tools and you've been to school and you know what you're supposed to do, but you still bring something green in, then that counts against you.
That's true. Okay. Yeah, that's true. That's a good way to put it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Next question. If you're enjoying this video, hit that like button.
Yeah.
All right, next question. What tips would make me a better performer in the audition room? What 3 tips? If you could just say 3 things.
These questions are
I like
wow. 3, it's like, how many questions? It's actually like 50 questions.
What 3 tips would make me a better performer in the audition room? Maybe we'll make this a 2-parter.
Yeah.
Like this will be part 1.
Long.
Well, look. I sat down and wrote down these questions because I know that they're going to help you. And he hasn't seen the questions, so he's feeling like a little bit like in the hot room with this. But I feel like your answers are really great. So we'll do it in parts.
No, it's good. I feel like we'll be here 2 hours.
This will be our last question. That means you have to tune in next time to see the rest of the questions.
Yeah, we'll do part 2.
So last question.
Yeah.
And I think this is a great one to end on too.
Okay.
So what 3 tips would make me, the general me, a better performer in the audition room? Because we know that auditions are what gets you jobs. Mm-hmm. So how can I, be better at auditioning? What 3 things do you see that are great,
Well, let's start with like some like the mental stuff, because mental is so important. Perspective is important on these things, that, the people behind the desk are not mean and scary and like all this. There are some that are not too nice. But for the most part, everybody wants you to succeed. We want you to do well. We're not a judge sitting with a gavel that's going to judge you and sentence you to something. Yeah. We're just all there to hear what you do, like learn more about you, hear what you do, hear what you love to do, obviously, because you're there, and it would be fun. And whether or not you're right for the role, okay.
Yeah.
But I think we approach it too much as judgment, like a panel, like at school, and they're going to judge us on whether we're good or whether we're bad. And it's not. It's just what it should be is mentally, it should be, hey, this is what I do. It's really fun. And then they're like, oh, you fit for what we're trying to do too. Like it's that. It's not like you're not good, so you're not going to be in our show. It's just like, are you the right person for the show? Or like, do we think that we'll have fun together in making this art? And I think that mental perspective, that's the number 1 tip, is just to mentally change the way you look at it, just so you'll relax, so that you'll be more calm, so that it's not life or death going in there, that it's not my career or not, that it's more like just as, because if you're able to do that, you'll have a better audition. So that's where the tip comes from. It's like, you got to just try to, this is easier said than done, by the way, for all of us, but that's the goal.
That's really great advice, because I think that we oftentimes do consider the folks behind the table, the casting director, artistic director, music director.
Mm-hmm.
We consider them to be our judge. We actually had a question recently by one of the subscribers that said she was going in for a production, I think Hamilton, and she didn't know what to sing, and actually it was The Lion King. She didn't know what to sing, and she didn't know what the judges would want to hear. And I thought, okay, so they aren't our judge.
No, they're not judges. They're casting. So they're just trying to see if what you do is right for the show.
What they're doing.
That doesn't mean good and bad. That doesn't mean right and wrong. This is not school. This is not like learning and all.
It's not a competition. This isn't American Idol or Who's Got Talent or all of those shows.
Exactly.
Or America's Got Talent. What is the show called? America's Got Talent.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
But so that's tip number one. Tip number two would be preparation. We already talked about it. Preparing. Do what you can control. In auditions, we talk about this all the time on the channel. You are not in control of this career. You're not in control of what you get cast in. You're not in control of what you're going to look like on stage, what the director's doing with the lights. You're not in control.
We talked about this morning, not being in control.
Yeah, we talk about it all the time.
Yeah.
You're not in control. So what you can control, you need to put in the work, which is getting your book up to date, preparing the audition sides like really, really well, learning your lyrics, learning the material, learning who's in the room, learning how to audition well, practicing, reading scripts on your own, like, the art, the thing.
Yeah.
That's the stuff you can control. You got to do it. So don't be apathetic and don't be lazy and just sit around and waiting for the phone to ring. It's not going to happen. Mm-hmm. Get busy, practice, just work on your book. You should be singing every day. You should be learning about the art every day. Read some books, like get busy. Don't just sit back waiting for the phone to ring. It ain't going to happen. So go. Preparation. All right. That's number two. Mm-hmm. I don't know what would the third one be of having, let it go. I mean, afterwards. So it's similar to the first one, but audition, do what you do, whatever happens, your voice is going to crack, you're going to miss this note, it's not going to be as perfect as you wanted it to be because of nerves, all that stuff. You got to let it go. Audition and move on to the next. It's just a numbers game. You got to audition for 100 things to book one, It's just how it goes. It's that way for everybody. It doesn't matter how big of a Hollywood movie star they are. There's been dozens and dozens of shows that they didn't get that maybe they wanted to get. It just is. Okay, so after you audition, let it go.
Let it go.
Let it go.
I like to treat myself. Currently, I'm no longer able to treat myself to like Starbucks or a treat or something like that. But I do like to reward myself for having completed the audition. So if you can find a way to reward yourself, you can look forward to that reward rather than obsessing over your audition.
Yeah.
So to recap, you said the 3 tips that would make me a better performer in the audition room is to change my perspective, to prepare, and to let it go when it's over. Yeah. Okay, so stay tuned for part 2. There may also be a part 3 of this segment, but we are working on 25 questions to ask a Broadway music director. And we have an in-house Broadway music director right here, Austin Cook. Thank you so much for watching. If you stayed around to the end, you're a rock star. We appreciate you. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and we will see you next time.
Yeah, thanks everybody.
Bye.
Bye.